Famer. They've surrounded him. The offense's run, the pass is, for his career, is completely out of balance. He's not running a balanced offense. What would Troy Aikman's numbers be if you had to say, okay, you know, since we got a Hall of Famer on one side and we got this run, and we just go a Hall of Fame tight end, let's just chuck the ball more. Now, do they win more championships? Probably not. But are his numbers better? Probably so.
I mean, but you say that, and we think that Brett Favre is one of the greatest of all time. We all agree on that. He's
I
the
would
top
say
10.
agree.
Yeah.
He only has one Super Bowl.
Yeah. And he lost one.
He only has one Super Bowl. So he has the same record that Peyton Manning has. So, I mean, that's going. That I think, like I said, the beginning of the question. I think Drew Brees is definitely a top tier quarterback. Does he move up my list slightly? He's not top 3 like they're trying to say. I still think it's going to be, you got Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. I still think Ben Roethlisberger is a guy that I want the ball in his hands when the game is on the line. Regardless of his stats, his numbers is not great, but he's a guy that
he's
I
a
put
gutsy
on.
guy.
I just can't put Peyton on top of Tom Brady.
I mean, it's 1A or 1B with me, but I'm going to tell you a quarterback that I feel like is right up there with Drew Brees, but he doesn't have a Super Bowl, and he never gets the credit, not even in his own city. His name is Donovan McNabb. And that guy is a leader, and he never played with any, except for Terrell Owens. His top receiver
was
West
throwing up in the Super Bowl. Give me a
Wow.
River.
Wow.
I just can't endorse Donovan McNabb. I can't do it. I just can't.
I think Donovan McNabb's a great quarterback. You know, good. Again, another guy. You like guys that put up individual numbers, and I mean, if you're looking for that, I mean, you can go through a lineage of guys that have done that. But you know, when the guy's been at the biggest stage, found a way to lose every time, and there's something to be said for winning the big games. That's all. And Jim Kelly is the only guy that I think has ever really achieved greatness. And
by losing.
By losing. Him and Fran Tarkenton are the only two that, but they were losing Super Bowls.
True. That's true. I'm going to go ahead and that was, all right, that was a good conversation on Drew Brees. He won his stuff. I give his credit, he won the Super Bowl. But we're going to continue to move on. The question I have too is the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame had Jerry Rice, no brainer. Emmitt Smith, no brainer. John Randall, Russ Grimm, Dick LeBeau, long overdue. Floyd Little, didn't know a lot about him, so I won't make a comment. Ricky Jackson, I'm not sure why he made the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. Now my question is, who got passed over?
Who got passed over? Of course, CeCe got passed over. And Chris Carter got passed over. I don't understand how he does not make the Hall of Fame in front of Ricky Jackson. Russ Grimm, yeah, he should have made it. He should have made it. Who else you say was on that list?
You had Floyd Little. You had John Randall.
Randall.
No Super Bowls.
What?
No Super Bowls. Didn't even play in the Super Bowl.
I agree. I mean, how? Hey,
first ballot.
You know, the NFL picks and chooses. And I think it's a disgrace because they hold some of the things that you did off the field against you and get into the Hall of Fame. Does Chris Carter deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Yes, he deserved to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I really don't understand that. I mean, the NFL they blew it on that. They blew it.
I definitely agree. Well, how do you feel about who got passed over? Who do you think should have got in? Maybe who should have been taken out? What do you think about the situation?
The John Randall name, I'm really not too excited about his name being here. I mean, he was a good player, but I don't think Hall of Fame caliber. I don't know if John Elway's name's been thrown in there yet, but if it hasn't, he's been looked over.
Well, he hasn't been out of the league for 5 seasons yet. You got to be out of the league 5 seasons.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know, but some of the names that you mentioned, a couple of those names I don't know. You know, I mean, I'm not familiar with those, but maybe the John Randall, I'm not too excited about him.
Yeah, I think a guy that I really think should be up for conversation, because I think injury sometimes impacts whether you discuss a guy or not. But I really think that this special case dealing with Terrell Davis has to be visited at some point in time, because here's a guy whose career, like Gale Sayers, like some others, was cut short. But what he was able to accomplish in that short time, I mean, this guy had 2 Super Bowls. He played at the University of Georgia, was a backup to Garrison Hurst, and came in the league and then performed at a level that only the greats have ever performed at. So I think his name is one that needs to kind of be visited for some of the people that actually got in who maybe didn't impact the game in that way. You know, I think it's got to be up for consideration that his name at least be. And then you got some other guys that are coming up. And it's going to be real interesting to see, say like a Deion Sanders and people that have really impacted the game in ways. And I agree with the point that Kerry made, and it being about, well, this guy play well, or did we not just like this guy because off the field, or maybe just personality just in general?
I mean, I definitely agree with what you're saying, but I want to question this Terrell Davis pick. The NFL, to be a great Hall of Famer, you have to do it over longevity. You don't. I just feel like, and I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you on the Terrell Davis aspect. I just don't feel like when you are a Hall of Famer, you're an NFL player, injuries are part of the game. I think that should not be a reason why.
So you saying he shouldn't be?
No,
he shouldn't be considered for a Hall of Fame.
He should not be considered for a Hall of Fame.
Please.
So a player.
Wait a minute. Was Terrell Davis not a 2,000-yard rusher?
Hey, buddy, I'm going to give you a couple things about Terrell Davis.
Terrell Davis was 2,000.
Wait a minute. Before y'all say that, should a player be punished because they accomplished a lot of things within a short period of time, as Terrell Davis did?
Yes.
Why?
I'm going to first start with an analogy. Do we not say that Biggie Smalls was the best rapper of all time, even though he has such a small rubric of work?
You say that. I think he's in the top 3.
But in large contention, you get a lot of people, he's in the conversation.
Exactly.
You won't take him out of the
He's
conversation.
He's in the argument.
And so what I'm saying is that this guy, and I think it should be up to the voting body, but that name should be coming up. Because when you look at 2,000 yards in a season, you look at the 5 seasons that he did play, the productivity level that he had, and then you say 2 Super Bowl rings, one of which he was the MVP for. Mm-hmm. Now, a guy can be Super Bowl MVP and maybe not be a Hall of Famer like Larry Brown for the Dallas Cowboys and Timmy Smith for the Washington Redskins, though I don't know if he was MVP of that Super Bowl. Because I'm sure Doug Williams was. But what I'm saying is, but he's not the kind of guy who just, up and have a good game in the Super Bowl and say, okay, well, we're going to give him the MVP. He was playing with a Hall of Famer.
True.
Who could not win a Super Bowl until, again, your Peyton Manning theory, who decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to be willing to hand this guy the ball. Yeah. Because it's going to take a lot of pressure off what it is I'm trying to do. He had been there. He got by the mistake in the lake a couple times and couldn't get Hey, these are only facts, man. These are only the facts. These are only the facts. And so you got to put this guy's name in. And also, I have Gale Sears, I believe, played 6 or 7 years.
You're correct.
I believe that Jim Brown played 9, of which there was no identifiable reason why Jim Brown stopped playing other than, we won't even go there.
The Dirty Dozen.
He wanted to walking away from the game. And I'm gonna go ahead and move on.
Jim wanted to be an actor.
And I feel like in that discussion, when you got longevity, because running back's career span is only 4 years, maybe even 3. So to be a great, considered with the criteria of Hall of Fame have changed over the years.
How many years did Terrell Davis actually get?
5.
And with the numbers that he put together in those 5 years, and a couple of those years were he was injured, correct?
Actually, he wasn't so much injured those years, but what he did was, up until his injury, he was the most productive back, and he got beyond what you just said.
Would
the average
Denver have won those Super Bowls without Terrell Davis?
No.
Then he's a Hall of Famer.
And not only that, but look at how exciting that guy was on the field. I mean,
he was a beast.
He was doing
Even
stuff
though he looked like the horse
that you rarely see nowadays with your LaDainian Tomlinsons and you know what I mean.
Who has not won
Cedric
Super Bowl.
Bensons, and that's my team.
Well, like I said, I can definitely agree with that. I personally would not put him in a conversation that's being a Hall of Famer.
Well, who you think should be? Who you think should have been left off or put in?
Oh well, I have a list of guys. I think Tim Brown was a guy that.